this is Jay Bentley from Bad Religion, and I'm saying hi to all the WeAreChange fans, and I do support a 9/11 investigation, and I consider it to be ongoing, probably for the rest of my children's lives.
Thank you, sir. Very much, sir. It's gonna
As I walk beneath the valley, I shall fear no evil. Cause thank the King George and his able cabinet, today murder is legal. God, I know that it's wrong to kill my blood for what he hasn't done. And as a place like in the sky, it sounds like heaven is falling. It sounds like heaven is falling. You promised me a new day to dawn in. I see 1,000 points of light, like so many points of hatred, shame, and horror. God, I wanna be a man, but I don't wanna die with a rifle in my hand. And as a place like in the sky, it sounds like heaven is falling. It sounds like heaven is falling. You promised me a new day of dawning. Well, nothing here looks new to me. But it's going on, mother, son, between the devil and the deep blue sea.
Everybody's gonna get one different time. Just some kind of joy, which is studies and reason. I'm sorry, Daddy, y'all are gonna stay together, stop the change.
Hi!
well, if you're cool with me hitting record, we can just ask if you are.
Anytime. If I'm smoking, you want me to go downstream?
No, man, no. It's all good. I'm with Chris. I'm Nate. Jay.
Hi, Nate. Hi, Chris.
All right, couple quick questions. Basically, things we're interested in. You're obviously a political band.
We're a social political band.
Exactly.
Politics be damned.
Yeah. Okay.
Politics is simply the idea that you can convert people to think the way you do. That's politics. We don't care about that.
So what's your definition of social politics?
Caring about what people do to each other and how people react given their daily life and strife, regardless of whether you're in Boston, Massachusetts, or living in the poverty-stricken areas of Afghanistan. If you have kids, you wake up worried about feeding your kids. If you have a job, you worry about making sure you don't get fired, making your monthly payments, things that human beings care about.
Well, in spirit, you're already a member of WeAreChange. In spirit. Now, what? Oh, go ahead. You can lead the interview. Sorry.
Well, WeAreChange was founded after 9/11. It was started largely under pressure by the victims' family members because the official investigation was pretty much a whitewash, and none of the families properly had the questions answered about what and why and how things happened to their loved ones about 9/11. And to this date, a lot of those questions still haven't been answered.
And they never will.
And you're probably right.
They never will.
So I guess we'll start with what's your take on...
Thank you very much. Thanks.
What's your opinions and your take on 9/11?
Well, first and foremost, it was the only word that I can use to describe it is unbelievable. It was an unbelievable event. It was tragic. It was completely evil. But the fact that it happened was mind-boggling. Everything that happened after that, all of the conspiracy theories and all of the thoughts of those buildings were blown up, they were meant to fall down, the people that were flying the planes were part of the CIA. Maybe much like Area 51, Cheney on his deathbed might say, "This is what happened." Maybe, but you know, I just it's one of those things where, like you said, there's millions of questions that will never be answered, and I'm kind of one of those people that I'll chase something for a while, and then when it can't be answered, I realize I'm just beating my head against a brick wall, and like, I'm not going to accept it. I'm not going to say, okay, well then what happened is what happened, but I'm just going to say, eventually something will come out.
Okay, so what do you think about, regardless of who was behind 9/11, what do you think about the way that post 9/11 that event has been exploited for an agenda?
But doesn't it seem like that was, it could have been preemptively thought out? My feeling about all of that is that as the statement from Bush goes, we have the answers, go find the questions, right? And so that was what led to the war in Iraq, because he wanted to, you know, my kids they were 11 at the time, and they were smart enough to know that Hussein had nothing to do with that, but they wanted to somehow tie him in with that, say we're going to war with them because they're shielding terrorists and they're friends with Al-Qaeda, and they hated each other. Al-Qaeda and Iraq never got along. We know that.
Well, yeah, but as with most Americans, there were a lot of people that just wanted someone to blame, and for a lot of Americans initially, Iraq was satisfactory.
Sure.
There was someone to go after.
So why didn't they just, fucking blow up the entire Midwest when McVeigh blew up the Maher building? Why didn't they turn Kansas into glass? Fuck you people. That doesn't, it's easy to be specific when you have a goal in mind. And I think the goal was A, to get a pipeline through Iraq, and B, way more government control, way more,
infringement on civil liberties,
invasion of people's private rights, because they see that, obviously the government has to see that the internet is everywhere and everything, and people are sharing information faster than ever, and maybe they want to be a little more in touch with all of that.
Well, just like Senator Jay Rockefeller is now pushing for internet regulations and restrictions, saying that he wishes the internet was never invented.
Right, so where was he when the RIAA was trying to stop downloading?
Well,
who cared about us then? Yeah.
Well, there's no profits in that for them.
Not for them.
Not enough money in the music business.
Much like in the, when all of Eastern Europe was in turmoil, we didn't intervene. We didn't care. There's nothing in there for us. There's no profit margin in it for us. So why go there? So, my feeling on it was, yes, 9/11. I said something on CNN on the 2004 Warped Tour that immediately following 9/11, we had the empathy of the world. And that was a good thing. And George Bush basically, within hours, had the entire world flipping us off. Like, fuck you guys. And rightfully so. So, he's just awful. That whole administration was just awful, and it was a sad time in this country's history.
See, now the take on most WeAreChange members is we're trying to smash the left-right paradigm. We look at it like professional wrestling. They're pitting people against each other.
I agree with that, and I didn't say anything about left or right. I'm specifically that administration. Those people have been in the wings waiting for something like this to happen since Reagan.
Well, the Patriot Act was written during the Reagan era.
Right, and they already had a doctrine to rebuild Iraq, and there hadn't even been a war yet. Halliburton had already been awarded the rebuilding contract.
Well, and they had they had troops moved on the Pakistani-Afghan border in early September, and Bush had orders on his desk on September 8th to go into Afghanistan before the attack.
And if anybody had ever asked, like, why did this happen? A lot of what I thought was, in the first Iraq invasion of Kuwait, in that instance, they left 100,000 troops in Saudi Arabia, and what was said was, we don't want them here, and that was even like Bin Laden and everybody else. We don't want Western people on Holy Land, so take them home. And we basically said, no, we're going to leave them now. And that's kind of the impetus to all this, like, okay, now we're basically, and I say to everybody, how would you feel if Germany left 100,000 troops here?
I don't think the Americans people would be having that.
I don't think they'd be having that. So what makes us struggle? To like leave people wherever the fuck you want to. Especially when they said, no, now go away now. You did a good thing, you saved Kuwait, now go away.